So I guess for the first time in a while, I'll talk about something other than politics. I watched The Shield when I was younger. I loved that show, and I followed a Reddit, big on there. And someone asked a question about how, at the end of the show, would Vic's daughter want to reunite with him? You know, as she's an adult and he's getting out of his thing. I don't think so. And let's talk about it. I think that, you know, when she was during the show, she was becoming a young woman. She was like, what, 15, 16? Because I remember near the end, she had something where she went to some kind of a party where they had their bras and panties. And, I think the girl was autistic. The whole family was, which is kind of the sins of the father type thing of like, because you have to realize for those kind of gladiator, those kind of guys, they have that like being hard and being strong and we're not weak and all that, and taking advantage of the weak and victimizing the weak. But then your family, your children are weak. You know, there's something about that always hit me of just the sins of the father. You know, that as I tell y'all, sometimes punishment is not jail or prison or fines or tickets or police enforcement. Sometimes, you know, other things happen to us that affect us. So yeah, I do think that people that were around him would step up for the family. I'm talking about like other cops who weren't involved, the strike team, who weren't dirty. I think you'd have other cops. That's how it is. You saw it with the deputy chief. I'm gonna call it DC. With him, you know, when he had his downfall, and how even though he ended up, you know, dying in Mexico, and you know he died pretty bad. He's alcoholic, and all those things happened. Police still showed up in uniform to his funeral side, his graveside. You know, he was still a deputy chief, and we don't know what he might have done to help those cops who maybe weren't street cops. Maybe they were administrative cops. I don't know. The point is, I think you'd have cops that would step in and would make sure the family's okay. I believe that. I think that over time. Remember in the beginning, the first episode when he killed that guy who was trying to set them up? He was trying to set them up. What's the guy's name? And they were like, how did it happen? He talked to someone in the Department of Justice, and they were a friend of Vic. So what I'm saying is there are people who like his method of policing. Even at the top, who were like, yeah, he's rough, but we got some pretty rough kind of criminals in Los Angeles. We need that to go after the cartels and the gangs, and they tacitly supported it. I think, though, let me say this. I think that as time went on in the show, it showed you a change in the mores, social mores, that like in the beginning he could do whatever he wanted, and like they couldn't take him out. He was bringing in guns. He was bringing in the gang members. Like, remember Cherry Poppers? Like a club where they were victimizing sex trafficking. And he victimized the Korean girls or whatever, and he broke it. And from that, you know, he brought in pretty bad guys. And for a lot of people, that's enough. You know, that makes up for the other things that he does that they're like, well, you can't. That's how white folks are. You can't prove that. You can't. That's how they do it. You can't prove that. So, I think that eventually, though, they would, I think the police, his friends would know that he crossed the line. 3-4 years is a long time, okay? Let me say that. 3 to 4 years is a long time. And I think that you'd have FBI, you'd have Homeland Security, you'd have HSI, Homeland Security investigations, you'd have FBI, you have LAPD, you have the sheriff on it. I mean, that's a lot of muscle. That's a lot of muscle and investigative know-how to investigate those kind of, and I think about the actual, it's named after the Rampart crisis, where the cops are doing, similar stuff, shooting, killing gang members and stuff, and giving them cars, and they had tattoos, and they shot you with red. If they killed you with, they killed gang members with black card, and I think that social mores were changing in the show. You saw it with, at the end, you had Andre 3000 talking about the new paradigm, and you had the new paradigm, and you had the captain, he was running on taking out a corrupt cop or exposing a corrupt cop. That's how you get the Mexican vote. See, the black mayor was like, protected him, but the black police commissioner was protected. The white police commissioner was like, he came in there and he was like this, and boy, it was over with. He was like, yeah, he wanted Vic out of there. He pushed promotion, but Vic had friends. That was the point. He had friends. He had a deputy chief. He had whoever was protecting him, Department of Justice. I'm glad they never showed like who told, because it kind of plays into that whole thing I'm talking about of like, he had friends and he had people that were like, yeah, we really believe in this. We believe in this rough and tough type of policing of go get them. We believe, and I like that, because I think we think about the FBI as being like, these niggas is all like, their pants are ironed and creased, and no, they're people too. And yeah, they're people too, and they can go down that rabbit hole too of like, these are a bunch of thugs, and we need to take the gloves off. Like, yeah, I think that's good that they show that. They make you kind of get into that a little bit of like, even someone at that level would be like, man, fuck these criminals. He's doing the Lord's work. I believe in this. Right? I think that what else? I think that what's I gonna say? I think that basically everything will come out within 3 to 4 years. I think that there'd be a whole lot of more stuff would come out. I think they'd find the house where they beat that man at with the blood. They'd find it. I think that they would be able to. I think everything come out in 4 years. I do. And I think the LAPD socially, behind the scenes, would work to leak a lot of stuff. That's what cops do. That's what police officers do. Remember, social mores were changing. Transparency, integrity. I am accountable to the community. Remember? So I think that they'd want to leak everything. They'd leak his Academy Awards. They'd leak when he tripped and broke his ankle 20 years ago on a foot chase. They'd leak a car crash he got in 10 years ago. They'd leak a blue light violation. They'd leak discourtesy. Boy, they would leak everything because it would look good for them. They would kind of make things look like, well, we told them, we warned them about this. That's what they do. So everything would come out. I don't know if his friends would be like trying to tell the daughter, but I think that she would hear over the phone. I think that, yeah, she'd hear over the phone one day, or I think that she might they like leave a newspaper. That's what kids do. That's what kids do. You'd be surprised, how much stuff that kids pick up of just doing what's appropriate and what's not. We don't joke about religion. We don't play our religion here. We don't joke about grandma. When grandma does something might be kind of funny, we don't joke about that. That's not funny. Kids catch on quicker than a lot of people think. They do. They watch like dogs do. Dogs, they know like this is the person's friend. This is, so I do think that, I think personally that she'd find out everything, and she wouldn't want anything to do with her dad. I think just due to the fact that this stuff would be so heinous. It's sad that I'm saying it this way. That what I'm telling you is, it's political moments. That's what I tell you. Is we live in phases, political moments. There's a part in the show, it's foreshadowing, the black detective, what's her name? The lady. She says that I guess the white detective, her partner, is talking about like brutality and stuff, and she's like, no, she's talking to the black cop, the gay guy, and she's telling him, he's like, look, people don't care about that stuff. You know, people care about, they care about coming home and their stereo still sitting up in there. They care about coming home and their TV still sitting up in there. They care about going out and their car still sitting there. And I don't know anybody that's been car stolen. I don't know anybody that's had this happen to them. So you know what? The police must be doing a good job. She's right. She's right. Took me a while to figure out. She's right. She's dead on right about that. That's how a lot of people think. Ultimately, that it's about, you know, me and my life and crime. And if I'm not affected by crime, then I guess cops doing a great job, right? And she was from that older age too, you know. I think that I'm talking about how the department, it shows you, like, you know, like the show is about the gangs, but it's showing you about the internet, like the way they're able to reach in and touch. Like, basically Farmington was like a playground for like all like the major gangs. Like it was a playground for the Armenian mob. It was a playground for the fucking what's that guy, Margot's, it was cutting his feet off. It was a playground. It was a playground for, I mean, it was all that. That's what that was. A playground for like just the worst elements of international terrorism, international crime. That's what the shit was about. And Farmington. Basically, they took like all of the divisions in LAPD, like the worst stuff, and I was like, that's gonna be in Farmington. I think that she would tell you that she loved to reach out to him, but I think that as time goes on, we create our identities. I think we do, and I just think that the person that she would grow to be probably would not respect Vic. The person that she grew up to be would look at Vic as a monster. Not now, but eventually she grew up to see him as like, okay, he's a bad guy. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like, she was a woman almost, you know, and like my mama would, you know, when I was learning about, when I was on birth control and reading about, they say Arthur Evero gave up a promotion to strokes and stuff, especially older women. I think that was a part of her death, and nobody in the church would back me, and I started reading. That's how the daughter, that's how she's going to be. About the same age. I think that's how she's going to start reading and start learning for herself about policing. And see, Vix, she wasn't a cop's girl. See, there's some girls that are like, Daddy, you know, I want to be a cop, and, you know, just the police. There are other boys too. There's just kids that just like love policing, and they may not ever get into them. They may become dispatcher. They may become something that's not a patrol officer or a deputy, but they're like, Daddy was a cop, and I remember him getting blood on his uniform, and she wasn't that. His daughter was just a girl. And, you know, I know the show isn't about her, but it never, I don't think that she'll like have those kind of like rose-cut lenses. She'll see it as he was a monster. Corinne, the mama, let's talk about the mama. So, behind all the things Vic was doing, because remember, the show is about how everything Vic did, how it blew back on the family. I don't think Vic wanted to screw over his family. I don't think he, you know, I think he was a good father. Watching the show again, I think he was a great father, but he was a shit guy, shit man. Maybe he didn't know what a good man is. I always, you know, I put it out there, you know, courtesy, kindness, correctness. These are the traits of a man, you know, and we don't, you know, I don't know. I just, once again, the sins of the father, that he was a bully, and I'm gonna, you know, get the criminals, and I'm just getting the weak, getting the thugs. But then his whole family, the kids are all intellectually disabled. There's something about it to me of just how, like, that's because for him, that's the greatest curse, is that my kids can't be like strong and diverse. They're gonna be like weaker. Like his kid is like, yo, he's gonna have to go to school. That hurt him. He couldn't deal with that. I think that. Oh, so Corinne in the show, he gave her money from the Armenian money robbery, and the money she was using to pay bills because he was getting in trouble and he was not coming home. And I guess she was using it really to like take care of their son who was autistic. And IED froze everything. They froze the bank accounts. They wanted that money back. Everything. So she was kind of like, damn, what do I do? And then after that, you had the damn when what's the dude, Shane? The Mexicans came to kill Vic's family, and Shane killed the guy in the living room. And then when she came home, he grabbed her up, put her in a shipping container with her daughter. See, I think that 3 to 4 years passing, they'd remember that. They would remember those moments of just being in like damn, you know, how much. That's how it is when you're in those. Like I was with Veronica, was like that. That when I broke up with her, I remember I feel like time slowed down. That's how they'll feel with Vic. Is it like, it's almost like, and you don't realize it until you're out of that situation, that it's almost like your life has been going by faster, and that now that you're not, now that you're just living normally and going to work 9 to 5 and paying your bills, watch the game, you know, maybe go out once in a while. Now that you're back to that lifestyle, you're like, damn, like what happened? That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it'll be for them. They will you know, time is going to slow down. Time is gonna slow down. So I think that what else? What's going on here? Long ass light. I'm sorry. I understand that Shane really did that to protect Vic and his family from the Mexicans. Like that was one of those moments where, like, you know how people talk, but then like sometimes things get real. That was that moment, and Shane stepped up. And you know, it's something about that I didn't get as a kid. There's something about that, knowing you got a nigga out here that's like, yo, when the lights go out and the heat is on, he gonna come through for you. He gonna come through in the pinch, and that's cool. You know, that's a cool thing for me. But I think that 3 to 4 years go by, and his wife and Corinne looks back, and they're gonna have long talks, her and the daughter, about what that was like and things they already didn't know about then. You know, that's how things are. Old folks talk, and I think that people say, oh, well, you know, it all was for a reason. I think that ultimately they won't care about that. Corinne was a 40-year-old stay-at-home mom that was a nurse. You think she's gonna understand like Shane killing for the Mexican mob, or excuse me, killing to protect them from the Mexican? Fuck no, she's not gonna get that shit. She's gonna be like, oh shit, you know, I was scared. I peed myself. Yeah. I think that. Oh, I want to go back to how the show, The Shield, goes into the social mores changing. At the end, you had Andre 3000. Remember, he was running for mayor, and he was talking about the new paradigm and the military complex, and talking about how the police department was doing civil asset forfeitures and all that. Like, that was the era we live in now, of like, we want the police to be out front, and you know, I mean, I just think that I really believe LAPD will leak everything. Not all at one time, but little by little, I think they leak everything. There would be nothing about Vic and the strike team you wouldn't know about. I think it's something interesting about it, how in the show there were moments where Vic was kind of warned. His deputy chief friend, he made a point about how Vic, we're dinosaurs. I don't know if he's talking about that as being like hard charging cops or as being white men. I don't know what that meant by that. But he's making a point either way. He's making a point of how times are changing and people don't like us. And Vic's like, why? As long as I got this badge, I'm, you know, just that arrogant white guy, you know, white boy talk. That I don't care. I don't have to listen to nobody. Listen to me. But he got it. He understood it then, that like social mores will change.